All right, guys, so the stock market is looking very peculiar here. I think we're in a really good trading spot here, and we're actually at an inflection point on the S&P 500, which is the broader market. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering the top stocks and options to be looking at for tomorrow and possibly into next week. The S&P is looking crazy right now, man. And I'm telling you guys, these setups that we're covering in this video look phenomenal. Let's dive right into it. No time wasted here. Hit that like. So here's ES1, okay? This is the S&P 500. Now the S&P 500, it's had a couple rallies throughout the year. It shot up here once. It shot up here again. This was our summer rally, and now we're actually shooting up here since about October 16th or the middle of October here. Now, every time we had one of these rallies here, it turned into kind of a bear market rally, which means the stock pushed up. It was kind of faking out the bulls, and then eventually pulled back and normalized, right? It continued its downward move, which it's been doing the entire year. Perhaps, though, this is the time where it's a little bit different. So if you look here, here's a trend line, right? This yellow line here. We've been holding this with extreme precision every single time since we hit the all-time highs on the S&P 500 here. We came up that one time, hit it right there, right on the money, came back down, hit it again, came back down. And now we're right at it once more here. This is a huge inflection spot. Now, prior to us getting up here, right, this last leg that we saw, this big push, right? This was a huge move. This was a 3% day. This came from Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chairman. He came out and pretty much said, we're looking to kind of pivot soon, which means he's not going to be looking to rate hike as much anymore, which is a good sign. That means he's getting more confident in inflation coming down. So because of this, could this perhaps be that inflection point we've been looking for the entire year here? We also have to be cognizant of the whole Santa rally as well. And we see some of that kind of pushes here. Usually every year you have this late, end of the year Santa rally, which is what they call it, where the markets like to push up nicely. Now, why I think this push might be different than the last, let's call it 2 or 3 times that it failed, is you can simply just look at the price action, right? You can look at the candlesticks and the volume. That's all I have on my chart. I don't have all these crazy indicators. So when we had this last push here, right, look how low the volume was relative to the volume before, right? So highlighting this section down here, look at that. The volume is tremendously low, yet it's making a big push here. So that causes a little bit of skepticism, right? You need volume. That's the fuel to your fire. So we didn't have a lot of fuel there, which made sense why we retracted back down. Then we had our summer rally here, and again, volume was nothing tremendous. It was somewhat flat, and in fact, it actually got slightly weaker right here just before it attempted to make that push through that trend line right here. So again, another symptom with that. However, look at this push right here, baby. Look at this. This is crazy. So the volume, right, initially it was kind of slowing down here, but then we had that big push that one day, right? We moved nearly 3% in a span of like 1 or 2 hours after Jerome Powell came out and talked. And another thing that's significant as well is just looking at the price action. Look at this green candle here, right? We closed above these last 2 prior highs here. That is a significant resistance level. It was at about 4,050. So when we close strong above that level with volume confirming that, as we're getting near this inflection point, things are looking pretty damn good. Now, today was kind of a flat day, and we talked about it in last night's live stream, right? We talked about today, we're probably going to see a little bit of red or at least a flat day. And that's just the result of profit taking, right? One must go up, must come down. The stock market moves in waves. So today we had a little bit of a flat day, denoted by this spinning top candle here as we butt up right against that trend line, baby. And I'm telling you, if we get a breakthrough here, guys, this is going to be a nice push for the rest of these stocks that we're looking at. So let's dive into those top plays here. So what I'm highlighting first is going to be AMD here. So AMD looks like a great setup. One thing that I really like about AMD is we do have volume supporting the price action as well. Now, it's not closing above the prior highs, right? The prior high being here at about that $78 range. It's not closing above here just like it was on the S&P 500. However, what I'm denoting is potentially a little bit of a pennant pattern here, right? So a bull pennant pattern. This is a continuation pattern, and I'm telling you, when these things break out, man, it is a nice push. So there's your flagpole there, a little bit of a squeeze here, a little bit of a triangular formation, and it looks like we could perhaps have a bull pennant here, right? We pushed up right against that resistance at the top of the bull pennant, kind of cooled down, and we closed actually above, right, the bull pennant here. So could tomorrow be the day that we get that extra push, right? That confirmed breakout. So put AMD towards the top of your list here. Now, if we do get a breakout, guys, I'm actually going to look for targets as high as over here. So if you come over to the side of the chart here, right? All these charts, we're looking on the higher time frame, right? The daily chart. There's actually a gap denoted right here. And this is a good place for a price target because there's a lot of liquidity up there. And you know, prices tend to gravitate towards these zones. So as you approach this gap, I think a good fair price target you can be looking at is about $81.47, or you can come near the top of that gap at about $83.46. I think those are fair targets, and just based on the potential move of a bull pennant pattern, I think at the very least, if we get a breakout, we will go to that gap, if not above it. So that's AMD. The next one here is going to be Microsoft. Now Microsoft's getting really interesting as well. Same thing with the volume, right? Strong volume push here, but check this out. We closed above that significant prior high and some prior highs before here. So we broke above a strong resistance level here with force. This is implying, right, bullish sentiment, right? The bulls are coming in, at least momentarily. So we could be looking for some nice moves to the upside. Now, if you want to speculate a little bit here, I'm not too much on this, but perhaps maybe an inverse head and shoulders here. I don't know if I buy that as much, but hey, I mean, if it kind of gives us a symptom of that, that can give us a little bit of confluence as to whether or not we do see some further continuation. And same thing here, guys, we got that gap right above, right? These are phenomenal looking plays. Whether we get the move or not, the price action is in our favor. We really just need the S&P to clear that level. Now, nonetheless, if we do start heading up here, right, we're going to be eyeing that gap. First target is going to be the bottom of that gap. Let's call it $260.40, and then coming right above towards the top of that gap, $265.16, and that is Microsoft. And the last one here is going to be Tesla, baby. We love Tesla, man. Check out Tesla. Same thing here. Volume is showing strength here, right? Bulls are coming in very momentarily. Now, honestly, Tesla does not look as strong as AMD and Microsoft, but I do like Tesla. I like the way it moves, and I know Tesla respects the market very well. So if the market has like a very green day, typically Tesla will push a lot harder than that. It's just a more volatile security to trade. Now, the good thing about Tesla is that it has closed this interim high here, right? So we're seeing a shift in market structure, right? We're forming higher highs. Strong close above that prior level at about 188.68. So now we're starting to lean towards that $200 range, right? The $200 level is right here. That's the next resistance we need to break. That's going to be my first price target on Tesla, okay? About $200. And then just above that at that next prior high, we're going to call it 208.90 or 209. Now, if you guys want to tag along with price targets for these top 3 stocks, check that link down below in the description to access my free private Discord. Seats are limited. I want to see you guys in there. You have nothing to lose. And at the very least, smash that like and hit that subscribe, baby, so I can catch you in the next video.